the people who are in school and are familiar with, more power to you. But unfortunately, there are some people out there who are not, who are thinking about winging it. You definitely don't want to do that.
Please understand that you could only fool a fool's mind.
Jimmy on the track, so you know it's lit.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Chit Chat with Brit Brat. I am Brit Brat, and of course you're gonna chat. So I know that the world is changing. Online classes is about to be a thing. Classes are getting ready to start. Everybody's going back to school, whether it's online, whether it's in school. I have never been a fan of online classes just because, if you don't already know, besides the fact that I be falling asleep, I need to actually be in the class. I can't learn remotely. Like, I need to have questions. I need to be able to ask and ask you when I want to ask you, not have to wait till office hours and figure it out when you're gonna be there, how you're gonna be there. But I know that now a lot of people don't have that option. If this is all about to be new for you, to you, I'm gonna just give you some helpful tips that got me through school. And when it comes to note taking, even working, I think I have that down pat. Besides the fact that I like to write everything out. All right, so you know I got my hand in notepad because I have to write this down. These are 7 things that you should consider before taking online classes. First things first is, guys, you're going to need organization. That's where you're going to find your most problems. Just because you want to be organized from the beginning of the foundation, you're going to be all over the place from the first day. Okay, so first thing first, and these are not in specific order. I should have made that clear. These tips are not in specific order, guys. You work it however you need to work it, because like I said, I learned this along the way. But these things work. Okay, so boom, organization. You need a clean space when you're about to work. You know, if you can just set aside a space in your room, or a space in the living room, or a space where you use this area just for work. And I don't mean like set it nice and then come back to it. You can do that, but even if it's I have to pack everything up and put it away in my room and then come back out here when I'm ready to work, you just want to be organized all the way across the board, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to save you so much. Calendars, that's a part of organization. You need calendars. Now, I'm extra. Okay, I'm just gonna make that clear. I was a part of student body stuff. You know, I was an RA on campus, and then I had my own personal situation, like my personal affairs, like with my friends, or like, you know, my boo or whatever, or just whatever. I had different calendars just because my, you know, work calendar was crazy. And then you have my school calendar was crazy. My friend's calendar was crazy. So I was extra with it, but you don't have to be that extra. Get that big calendar that you can either hang up, but it has to be something that you can see. I don't really do the whole phone, relying on my phone calendar. Like if it's something quick, like, yo, remind me tomorrow that I have to something. If it's something quick like that, that's fine. But as far as work is concerned, I think that you should have one separate. You could lose your phone tomorrow and you're gonna be like, because I like the phone thing, I be on the phone and in 2 seconds my attention goes somewhere else and I'm on Instagram or something like that. So it's a physical thing in front of me so that I can know what's going on. And then you also got to be careful having too many calendars, because then you have to make sure that, all right, am I free this day? Let me check all of my, that's to be me. Let me check all of my calendars. Okay, I'm cool, I'm free this day. That's a lot, but that's why I'm extra. I know me, so you got to know you is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, cool. Boom, you need a routine. You need a routine. Stuff like online classes, you cannot wing it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, until especially after this, we haven't been to school or to work in a long time, so you're gonna be a little rusty. So you're gonna need a routine. You know what I'm saying? I would suggest every day before your classes, even if you're not leaving the home, you actually get up and you actually take a shower and you actually put on clothes. I mean, it could be pajamas, but I mean, if they have to see you, no, at least a real shirt. You know what I mean? Something that to make you feel like you're about to go out, so that you can be in serious mode. Because if you still have your pajamas and you're still sleepy and you didn't take a shower, and you know what I mean, you're sitting there like halfway asleep, you need to be up, you need to be alert like you would be if you were in class. You understand? So get that routine, get that uniform going to be, okay, 9 to this such, I'm gonna do this. From 10 to this, I'm gonna do that. From 11:30 to so that everything is accounted for. You're organized. You see how I always go back to organization? Yeah, it's a thing. The night before, this is all a part of the routine thing. The night before, if you want to just write down the things that you wanted to do for the day, like, okay, I'm from here to here, I plan on doing this. Now, you don't have to be this like punctual just to the T, but it's some, if you keep it routine, you'll be in the habit of just being more serious. You know what I'm saying? Not just wait until the last minute to do stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot because you didn't write it down that you had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like organization, you want to just at least try to be on your shit. As I sit here in my I can't even tell you what this office is because I ain't supposed to be recording, but I also suggest, as part of your routine, is as soon as you're finished with that online class, whatever class it is, you should definitely at least start some of the homework from it. Like a good start. Every day you may not be able to get to do this just because of life and everything that happens after, but I think that you should start the homework for that class. While the information is fresh in your head, you should have been writing notes somewhere in the lecture, somewhere on the online class. You should have been writing something. So if you can, I would suggest, you know, you actually starting the homework, just starting a little bit of it so that you can come back to it, so you can remember, so everything is still fresh. If you could finish it. But like I said, life and everything, and I know me, like once my attention has been there for a long time, after that I'm ready to be out. So I get that, but at the same time, it's only going to benefit you so that you already started doing your shit. So maybe if you did have to come back to it, you're not coming back to a full blown, oh my god, I didn't even start, I don't even remember what we were talking about, now I gotta go back to the chapter. I'm just on y'all. Next point, you should be in the bed at a decent hour. Like, you have to be in a bed at a decent hour. You know, I can fall asleep doing anything at any time or whatever, but I notice a difference in my body that if I stay up late and how I wake up the next day, first of all, I'm cranky off rip. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me, don't do none of that extraness, because I'm not with it until after I, you know, get my life together and maybe start moving, and then I'm back to myself. But if I stay up late, I'm just a whole new person. So, and you want to give your body time to rest, especially if you're working and going to school online and doing this and doing that. You want to be in the bed at the days that you can in a decent hour. That's just the thing. Be in the bed early, wake up, start your day. You already wrote down the night before the things that you had to do to get ready for the new day, so it should just be a breeze. And you also just want to be refreshed, drinking water, and just that winter time is about to come and people about to start getting sick, just, you know, common colds, even it's flu season. Stay hydrated, go to bed early. Like, all of that stuff just plays a part in what you what you need for the next day, and to continue on. So that's the thing. My next point, you need to find resources for these classes. For each class, you need resources. You need to find apps that could probably help you with them. This is all about finding your resources within the school. You need to be asking the school from now the different resources you can have that's online, that's, you know, that's given to you guys, because it's not like you're in the actual building to know and to hear about these things. And it's much easier when you have like a big student body, so that you can be like, yo, do you know how I could and then, you know, the telephone and everything works and everybody helps you out with your resources. You're home now, so you don't have any of that. You should be in touch with the school, back and forth, emailing whoever. If one person doesn't know, what information can I have for the next person to find out who and how I can get my answers to the things that I need for the things of the class. You want to become one with your teachers, your professors, y'all. Like, that is so important. People feel like they don't have to, but this is why I only do in-class classes. I need my professors to actually know me by name. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I want you to know me. I'm the person who continues to come ask you. You may feel like, maybe not the professor, but the next person may feel like it's dumb answers or dumb questions. But I need the professor to know me, so that when it comes down to that grading and they're like, wait, who is this again? What? No, she actually was trying. She actually was, you feel what I'm saying? So even online and definitely in class, my teacher is going to know me. Is going to know me for a good thing, of course, but they're going to know me for sure. Just saying. You need to be looking for helpful apps. Parents, this goes for you too. If your child is going to be working online and at home, you need to look for helpful apps. This is not for the parents, what I'm about to say. If you need cheating apps, you need to be looking for that. Don't wait till the time comes when you're now sitting here trying to figure out what your test is due in 10 minutes by 11:59, and now you're trying to figure out no. You need to be finding that helpful apps, the apps where you can cheat, because it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not a thing. I'm not saying that cheating is the way to do it. But sometimes it get a little heavy, and I'm going to say, not by any means, because every time it ain't that serious, But if you gotta do what you gotta do, you gotta do what you gotta do. So don't wait till the last minute to do what you got to do. You wasn't prepared, and then that means that you wasn't listening and watching the video. You wasn't thinking. Okay. Yeah, so find softwares. You need to, okay, this is all a part of resources. Find out what software your school is using so that you can do your own personal research on maybe the apps that you need. If that has an app, whatever you need. This is why it's resources. Whatever you're going to need to focus on what you're going to do or what you're doing in the class. That's the thing. Pay attention, y'all. Yeah, because Sally told me if you do this, you go that. Oh, they told me that they got free this over there. All of this stuff, your homework on your classes and the work and the teacher and the professor should have been done beforehand. But if you sometimes procrastinate like me, wait till the last minute before the class actually starts, which I don't think the class has started yet. But before that happens, you want to be sure that you got your ducks in a row, because you just never know what's gonna happen. Just saying. Next point. Take notes. While the class is in session, you should be taking notes. You should be taking notes. Like, I'm a great note taker. If you want me to do a video on taking notes, let me know, because I can definitely help you out with that. Because I actually had a job in college for note taking for a class that I knew nothing about. What was it? Statistics. I was taking notes for somebody who was in statistics class, and when I tell you that was a whole nother language, it was a whole nother language. I knew nothing, but guess what? My notes was on point. You would have thought I've been in that class since I was 6. My notes was on point to the T. You feel me? You should be taking notes like no other. You should be writing down what the teacher is saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying word for word, because you're probably not gonna have time for that. But if you feel like you can't even do that, record them. Record them. Didn't nobody say you can't record them. Record them, because you need it to study. You need it to, what you gonna need when you gonna need to study, you gonna need that. So if you gotta record it, if you gotta write it down, if you gotta write it word for word, whatever, but I wouldn't suggest that. Just the greatest points, the main big points. Listen to if the teacher say that this might be on your exam, if you have a teacher like that, because some professors don't even do that, which, okay. If there's any students who ask questions during the time of whatever y'all talking about, I would suggest writing that down and then remembering the answer that the teacher gave, or whoever he called on to give the answer. Write it down, because you don't know if that's going to be an exam, and you don't know how important it's going to be later. You feel what I'm saying? Highlighters are important too. I didn't put that down, but writing whatever you're going to write. But I'm looking at the message. But highlighters are just as important, because you highlight in the most important part of whatever notes you're taking for whatever time or whatever. Also, if you can remember, write down what you were thinking while the teacher was saying whatever about the note, like in a bubble next to what you're writing. Write that down, because that may be helpful and important to you later for like examples, for anything. You know what I mean? You just want to know and make sure that's in your notes for sure. Another point, turn off your phone. I'm not gonna say turn off your phone during the class, because I know y'all not gonna do that, whatever. But whatever time you're gonna give for your little study session, your phone should be off. And try to get in the habit of turning off your phone at least 1 to 2 hours, or 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours for your study time or for your focus time. It may not be your study time, but this is your time to focus. Put it on do not disturb and just really buckle down and get your shit together. Because if you keep this a routine thing, when it comes to tests, when it comes to exams, you will know, or it will be a little bit more helpful. You would remember the things. If you write it down, they say if you write it down, a bunch of times, you'll remember it. I don't know if that's a thing. Everybody has their own note-taking strategies or whatever the case, or study habits, or however you do it. I don't care how many times I write it down, I'm gonna still forget. But if I keep it consistent, I'll remember, like, okay, yeah, I remember this had to do with this, and then I remember John asked this question to that, and that's how I remember what the teacher was talking about. I really do that. Like, I don't play. I do not play. I just want y'all to know this is real. And then what I used to do is I used to reward myself. So, okay, boom, I turn my phone off, or I put it on do not disturb or whatnot, and I'm focused. And I feel like I'm flowing with whatever I'm studying with. I feel like I'm really understanding, and I feel like I'm getting it. My reward to myself would be me giving myself back the phone. I mean, I may not be on it, but at least I was able, it was a reward to myself. So if you gotta do things like that to like trick your mind out. Last but not least, you want to be proactive, y'all. Like, it's nothing better than being prepared before you have to be prepared. If you already prepared, by doing these tips I'm helping you out with, you shouldn't have no problem with making sure, like, you know, you got your study book or your book for your whatever class. All your classes should have its own notebook or its own section with only that class stuff. Because if you, back to the organization thing, if you have a whole bunch of stuff from different classes all over, you're not gonna know who to what to what, who to how to her. Remind you, it's not like you can be in class and be like, hey professor, can you help me with, and you don't even know. So whatever you gotta do, by any means, I need you to graduate and get up out of there. Whatever school you in, do what you gotta do. You understand the vibes. But that's about it, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. This is Chit Chat with Brit Brat. If you like this video, definitely make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And I think this online classes is definitely a blow.
Jimmy on the track, so you know it's lit.